I'm not going to accept this game. I'm not buying it.
To be fair, I was never excited about Jump Force anyway because
Neither
I
was
knew it
I.
was going to turn out to.
Yeah, come on now. Like, you already know what kind of game this is going to be. Come on, dog. You really think they're going to put in anime characters that we've been looking for years? To the enthusiasts, man, this shit is for the new wave of weebs that came in looking at stuff. Come on now.
They don't watch some fucking what's that show called? My Hero Academia, the new Dragon Ball Z movie, and they think they know something.
Bro, right? And they ain't even got all the characters from My Hero. Like, they don't even have nobody. Like, y'all really just put Deku. Why y'all didn't put Hero Killer or All Might or Bakugo? Like, what's going on? But I gotta see all these damn Naruto niggas again. But like, why is Boruto even in there? Why?
New generation.
Because that's the new anime out. You know they got to put the new anime
Yeah,
out
if
there.
that's the case, remove Naruto. Oh, that's right. Naruto was more better than Boruto. That's why y'all scared.
Yeah, you know damn well they're not gonna remove Naruto. That nigga was the main three of the
That's what I'm
game.
saying. They're scared.
Goku, who they put it? Goku, Luffy, and Naruto going up
Yeah,
against
and those and
you know, Goku.
that's the Trinity. And it's sad to say that Bleach used to be the fourth. It fell
Yeah,
it fell off. That's sad. Because Bleach used to be right up there with Naruto, Dragon Ball, and One Piece. Like, those four used to be the Holy Grail. Now it's just the Holy Trinity. Bleach fell off, bro.
Rest in peace, Bleach. Because
I said that's sad.
out of those three, it was my favorite.
Yeah,
yeah. I
it's
was, bro.
sad.
There was a time where I
I
was
was
upset.
home.
It's sad. It went down. It's sad. It super went down. And out of the three, my favorites were One Piece and Naruto. Now, the only reason, like, I love Naruto because I actually, like, that story gets me emotional because I think about them when they were kids, and that's when the story was at its core to me when they were kids.
Right.
I liked One Piece because I was thinking to myself, I like Luffy. He's a retard. How far can he go without killing himself? So that's why I like One Piece. It's just because Luffy's stupid.
Not yet, but Luffy's like funny stupid. I don't think he's
Yeah,
stupid.
he's funny. He's not like dumb as in retarded. It's like he's naive and
Yeah.
he didn't have a formal education. Goku is just retarded. There's a difference. Like, Goku is actually retarded. Like, when Vegeta be talking to him, they try to have legit conversations. He can't compute. He's
Yeah,
stupid.
that's why Vegeta be so damn mad around him.
Like, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, at least Luffy will be like, "What is that?" Like, Luffy will say, "What is that? I don't know what that is," you know, and then he'll just say, "No, I'm gonna put it back." But Luffy would just say, "I don't know what that is. Never heard of it. But that has nothing to do with my goals, I guess. But that's cool." Goku will be like, "What's that? Can I eat it?" I'm like, "You idiot! What?"
That's why Chi be fucking be on his ass every single time. He's for fucking retarded.
Bro, Chi got the best durability out of any human in Dragon Ball next to Krillin. She got the best durability next to anybody next to Krillin in Dragon Ball because I don't think niggas remember, but he did slap her through a house by accident.
Yeah, he did.
That's it. I'm done with the fries. Yeah. He actually slapped her through the house and she went through a tree. Like, and she came back with no scratches. And
No
had
scratches.
his other baby.
Hey, you know what? The funny part is this nigga done fuck gods and xenoverses that niggas like way stronger than him. It comes to his wife, that nigga is scared as shit.
Bruh, I'm not gonna lie. Because I mean, we seen Chi Chi grow. Chi Chi went from I'm so head over heels for him. I'm gonna marry him. I don't even care if he think he can eat marriage. He's just cute. I'm gonna have his baby. But then when she finally settled in, she said, "This nigga is retarded." She finally realized that that man is an actual idiot.
Too late.
Too late, bro. You live in. And the funny thing is, GT, you gonna give up your life as a princess and live in Goku's shack? I mean, I know that's his house, but his house is whack. I'm like, girl, you get all up to live with some stupid person. He is stupid.
But it's not like she could just leave because who else is she gonna get?
She can get anybody.
I mean, yeah, true. But nigga, that's Goku.
Once you go saying the mother niggas ain't playing, you know.
Yeah. Thank you.
But yeah, man, it's just like, as far as this Jump Force stuff, I mean, come on now. There's so many other anime that could have been on. Like Xavier said earlier today, Seven Deadly Sins. Like it's just so many missed opportunities with this roster, and the combat is so 1-2-3. I mean, who can't predict that? Like, it's the combat is more fun when you play online, but most of the time you're gonna be fighting NPCs till you get all your stuff. Like, it's gonna be dry. It's gonna be dry.
I'm kind of okay with fighting NPCs because at least NPC don't do dumb shit like some of these babbling ass niggas do. Bruh, let me give you an example. Every time I'm playing like Ray, you seen how they play Naruto in the lounge, right?
Like fucking retards.
I'm saying, like, they play that game as if everything works. Like, just everything they could ever do just works. Whether they're out of chocolate, it don't matter. It's gonna work, damn it, because I pressed the motherfucking button. So when these motherfuckers get into games like J-Stars and all these little babbling ass games, all you gotta do is press one little button and then cool stuff happens. And then you get hit with some random ass shit. You try to punish it, but no, you get hit anyway. And then they look at you like they better than you. Bitch, I will fuck your life up. That shit pisses me off. That's why with games like Naruto and them, I be playing the AI. Because at least with the AI, it's fun. I can immerse myself. I can do my fucking what's it called? I can do my Kurama or whatever. I can do my Naruto versus Neji's. I can do my I can do my Itachi's versus Obito's. No issue. As soon as another nigga steps into a motherfucking controller, I gotta watch out for this and some other random shit that I could have avoided. But because the game is the way it is, it rewards him. Fuck you.
Yo, remember the guy that we got to a debate about how Naruto was a good game or something like that?
He was trying to say that Naruto was a competitive game with like tech. And I'm like, bitch.
Yeah, it does have tech. It's technically stupid. It does have tech. When you look at it that.
Do you have to know what you're kind of doing? Sure, but that's like bare minimum.
Yeah, like you need to know how to play the game. I mean,
yeah. but our argument was that in order to play the game competitively, you don't need much. You really don't even really need much. What is it? Like, you need a combo, a good assist, and you need to know how to throw and when not to fucking. Even when you block, you're at a disadvantage. Like what?
Because
they can fucking stun like you all day and then you're done.
In Naruto, for real, it's always based on momentum. Like, whoever is wasting the most chakra is probably winning.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's what we try to tell them.
Like, you do realize that if somebody try to hit you with a special and you block, depending on who the character is and how the special works, you do know they can do it twice and your guard will break and you get hit anyway.
Yeah, you gonna try and tell me that this is a good game? Fuck out my face.
Yeah, like Naruto.
I think the funniest part when he tried to get Brandon to agree with him, and Brandon was like, "Nah, this is a shitty game."
Yeah, like Naruto is not. It's not competitive, bro. It's fun to play with like with your friends sometimes, but then somebody's gonna get mad because that game upsets people.
I agree with that. It's just,
but Jump Force, nah, no way. I'm not doing it. I am not doing it. They can kiss my ass.
Yo ho.
Can like I still haven't watched gameplay of it, so can it be streamed on Twitch now?
Yeah.
No, it's not even out yet.
It's not even out?
No, it's out. My friend got it.
No, he's like the special deluxe edition, but not like for everyone to play.
I don't think it's out. Hold on.
No, because the reviews came back today, and my friend said he was playing it.
Let
It
me
should be out.
check. Oh yeah, yeah. Okay. Oh, never mind. I thought it was. Oh no, yeah, it come out tomorrow.
Oh,
Initial release date is February 15th, but niggas got it. But if you got it, you got it, I guess.
in the room. In the room.
Okay, yeah. It come out on the 15th, but if you got it, you got it.
Yeah.
Shit. Well, as you see, we already started. Welcome to You Know What? Let me just say podcast. I'm your host, Ray. With me, as always, we got Father.
I'm bitter.
And Mark.
What up?
And anybody, like always, anybody else, I done sent out the link. So anybody else that could join will probably join. So happy Valentine's. Happy Valentine's Day, brothers.
Yeah, I gotta get my stuff together.
Yeah.
Yo, well, Mark, I'm kind of surprised you're not spending Valentine's Day with your little boo thing.
She don't live here, and I had to work. And money come before love. Fuck love. I'm about loyalty. I don't really care about
Okay,
love.
21 Savage.
Okay,
Nah,
sir, 7th to 21st.
but no lie though, when he said that, that's my philosophy. Like, I agree. You could just say you love somebody. I mean, sure, I see you every day. I'm going to love you. I see you all the time. But loyalty, man, don't cross me.
You can love me and hate me and still have my back. Straight up.
Who's Cardi?
Best ad libs ever.
But yeah, no, she doesn't. She doesn't live here in DC, but she's coming down here tomorrow.
For Capricorn?
Yeah, she's coming for Katsu. So we're going.
Oh, it's gonna be lit.
Yeah, but she was she she was like, oh, you know, a lot of your friends are going because I just found out. Not only are y'all going, my cousin is going, and my cousin is like real lit, and he's bringing like all of our other friends. I'm like, oh my god, like it's gonna be crazy.
It's gonna be crazy.
Yeah. And then I heard my other niggas from New York are coming down here. I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah, because I was going to call this before the convention or the Grammy family. I just like Grammy family, but I was talking about y'all as the Grammy, like the old Kanye West song.
Yeah.
But just be on it. A lot of us are going to CasaCon next or tomorrow, and I wanted to talk about the things y'all done seen in conventions. And for anybody that's watching this, what to expect at a convention. Um, Anybody want to start?
What to expect at a convention? You mean like the rules and regulations,
or how things go down, like in general?
I mean, it depends on what you're looking for, because the con will give it to you.
Yeah.
like, like if you're really searching for something, like if you trying to like really be about that life, the con will give it to you. You just can't be scared.
Don't be quiet.
So, well, Mark,
I've been going to the con out of everybody here the longest.
Yep.
And
that's definitely
if you are in this, if you are very into the 4 or 5 categories like anime, video games, comic books, like just or the
would pop culture be considered up there too, Xavier? Pop culture?
Kind of, but they don't have a convention just based off of pop culture.
Oh, okay.
The closest,
and then I can't think of what, like Dragon Con. I can't think of what that is considered. Like
That's like a blend.
like Dungeon and Dragons, but I can't think of like the proper name without disrespecting it. Like I don't know the actual name for it, but yeah, it's like that. When you go to these cons, you can expect anything. You can expect amazing cosplayers, people who are dressed up as characters that bring the character to life. You have some who might pay a homage to something. You have people that might put two characters into one. You know, you have people doing their own spin to a character, which I don't. That's not my favorite. Um, you can have a lot of fun because they have panels, so you have panels about any and everything from Japanese, excuse me, from Japanese culture to Japanese tea to art. Like I'm going to one tomorrow to make Pokemon fuse beads.
Oh wow.
You have you have people who are voice characters. So, you know, they have autograph signings there. You have people who do their own art, who make their own things. So you have that to look forward to. You have things called the maid cafe. People are dressed as the Japanese maids, and you know they have like food. That's a little pricey, but it's
A
like
little,
a decent. It's a decent experience. Would you say?
a little. They be overpricing like a motherfucker.
I know. Um, what else can people expect? Oh, of course, depending on like the parties, like people will have parties in their hotel rooms that anybody's welcome to come to. There's no judgment. Um, but you will once in a while, if you're a person who go there, you get people who are not really into the culture. They just like Dragon Ball Z, or they just like, you know, like a little bit of video games. And
Yeah.
they'll come there and then they're talking about people or they're like making people feel uncomfortable. And
Mm-hmm.
those are the people that I don't like that go to these cons because they will like stare at you and be cracking up and are literally cracking jokes on you or they just act funny. And
Yeah.
then you
It's like
can't,
why would you even go there? You know
right.
what's going
Yeah,
And
on.
it's supposed to be no judgment zone, which is why people feel so free. They feel like they can do anything there. They can wear whatever they want. That's appropriate. um,
that's one thing I will say. Even though I don't cosplay, but I respect it. Every time when I think cosplay, I do feel like I'm a little left out of the party or
I
something like
know.
that.
I
Yeah.
always feel left out. I'm like, dang, I'm not even dressed up to like a little. I'm
To
just wearing
really experience and
just
enjoy.
wearing my regular clothes, and I just feel so left out. Like when Mark was doing his Spider-Man last year, I just felt like like his little groupie. Just follow.
Xavier, if anything, you're my manager.
Okay. Four pictures, five pictures only. Thank you.
Mm.
It's a, but the cons are so much fun, especially when if you go with people more than like two people.
Yeah.
If no, well, if it's more than just two of you guys, it can be a lot of
I
fun.
like the fact I like the fact at cons that they have really, really nice merchandise that you don't find in
Mm.
too many places at a decent price. Like they don't really like charge you too much for what this statue or what like this long poster could be worth. And they have like the little booths where they promote like Funimation or different channels that broadcast anime. And you can get some really cool free little goodies and giveaways in these
Mm.
bags and stuff. And like a lot of people be coming through with the art, man. Like the art be really good that people be promoting. They have like I said, cool figures. They have some of them have like really old school video games that you can't find, and they
Mm-hmm.
like sell them there, and it's for the original console. Like if you got a PS1, for my collectors out there, if you still got yours, like you go to a convention, you can find you like the original Metal Gear Solid in like its case, like the way it was when it first came out.
Okay.
Yeah, you just gotta look. Um, cons are, but the one thing I will say is don't ever buy food there, overpriced.
No.
You might as well
Yeah,
go
just
out.
go to McDonald's. Even though I
Yeah,
hate
you might
McDonald's.
as well go
Well,
out.
technically, you can't. Well, yes, you can. Never mind. Never mind.
You might as well go out, get you a little crew. Y'all go get something to eat somewhere else. Do not be sending that in there, paying like $12 for that little sandwich with that crusty bread.
Okay, the only thing I will justify is the last year for the first time, Otakon had food vendors.
Oh my God, that was so convenient too. That was very convenient.
Now that was okay. The pricing of the stuff was but I understand you got to make money. But
Yeah,
I did like it.
they got me with
did.
the Japanese soda. I got like 3 or 4 of them Jones. The ramen there, they had me going back. I'm like, because it's so good. I had to go back. I was
Yeah,
thirsty.
I'm not paying for ramen at nobody's con when they're sold for like $1 and some change, and then them damn cons they're like $5, $6.
Mm-hmm.
No,
I would say that it was worth the walk when we got them Japanese sodas. Those things were actually good.
Oh, you talking about? Oh, wait, are you talking about when we went to the Japanese market?
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
And
Yeah,
everybody was like, I was surprised I'm going because I hate walking to places. And I told Jay Vaughn, it's like the convention time is the only time where I walk a lot.
No, I'm telling you, that walk could have been shorter. I don't know why that walk felt so long that day. That walk was long.
It was long as hell.
And it wasn't
I took
like
an Uber back.
outside either.
Yeah, we took an Uber back to the school, and then we called another Uber to go to the fucking hotel. But the nigga drove to the wrong hotel, so we had to call. So we had to call another Uber to drive to the right one.
That was an adventure. But fuck that guy. All right, but Wallace, since you like very new to this convention thing, what was it like for you when you finally went?
All right, so I mean, when I first started going to cons, I wasn't like nervous, but I was not really like into it because like I already know I love anime, I love video games, I love all that shit, right? But like a room full of people who I assumed were just going to be a whole bunch of cringe lords and shit, and a whole bunch of weebs and shit. I was like, I'm not ready for this, bro. I feel like if I see some bad cosplay, I'm not going to be able to hold my tongue. I feel like if they arguing about shit and they getting their facts wrong, I'm gonna have to fact check them. I was worried. But then I was like, oh man, I'm just chilling. I'm just chilling with like, the quiet people and everything was fine. Or was better yet was the people that cosplay, right? And the people that have like the legit cosplays, like they're actually super like cool about it. They're not like in their head. They're not like
They better not
trying to make it seem like they're above you or whatever. They just doing it.
Okay.
What'd you say?
I said they better not act like they're above anybody. They're not getting paid.
Yeah, but ever since like I don't know. I think the best part about going to cons is just doing random shit. I think like that's like the best part. Like just fucking like when Mark has his speaker and then we're just dancing to like random ass music. Like I think that's the best part of it. Or if I go to like the little gaming room and I'm seeing games I haven't played in like 5-10 years, but I stay whooping everybody's ass. That's my favorite part of the con. Joining the little tournaments and shit, seeing people engage with each other and discuss about shit. Sometimes that can get a little cringy, but seeing the discussions and shit, like that's cool too. So all in all, like I feel like if you know where to go, then you're gonna have a good time. But like if you kind of wander around with like no direction, it's gonna seem a little overwhelming.
Yeah,
That's
and then
actually what happened when
it will seem boring too.
Yeah.
That's what happened when I went to my first con. I was like, I didn't know where to go, so I just like walked around, just watched everybody and just cosplay, and everybody was just yelling like Link. So I was like highly confused. And this was in Baltimore, so And then that's where I met the guy with always his shirt off, selling ice cold waters for only $1.
Get your ice water. It's only $1.
Only $1. I'm not gonna lie. I thought he was gonna be in DC. I was kind of disappointed.
Well, where he at?
I was literally looking for him. I was like, I hope he's here.
Oh, another thing for people who want to do cons or people who've been to cons, but they're just like, it's not for me. You have to get the guidebook and look at the activities for the day.
It be
lot of
stuff in the
people
guidebook that you
ignore
don't even know that's going on at the convention.
Exactly.
You don't be knowing. And
Like,
they be
you will
hidden in
not
little
know
rooms.
about the Akira books autograph signing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's gonna be all late at night, but you know,
but it's still happening though.
Exactly. Or you wouldn't know about this one class where you're making something and you can have it and eat it. Like, you would never know. Like, you have to get those guidebooks, and
you also wouldn't know if you didn't get a guidebook that like they have little workshops for you to help make cosplay or fix something if something is damaged.
Yes.
So people, you know what I mean? Like my friend last year, you probably seen him, Xavier. He was like the big dude who did Choji with the butterfly wings.
Oh,
okay.
yeah, he was cool as fuck.
Yeah, that's my nigga. That's Earl. He's a friend of mine. His wings broke. Somebody had like bumped into the wings and cracked them, and he made them himself. Oh, he had help making them. Yeah, he was in Blown City, but you know he caught the first flight out of there because he went to the he caught the first flight out of there because he went to the cosplay repair shop and they fixed it for him like right there, and they had all the materials. I was like, dang. He said, yeah, they got a bunch of stuff in there, bro. Like luckily, you know, he was just grateful that someone showed him the guidebook and showed him where it was, where he can go, and he got his stuff fixed right up. I said that's legit because his stuff was good. And
they have a
he would have
panel
been angry.
cosplay wigs, tell you how to do wigs, which is very important because
I was glad that he got his stuff fixed because like he worked really hard on them Jones, and I would hate for his experience to be blown because you know somebody was just moving a little bit too much and cracked them Jones, and he would have had no way to like, you know, get it ready to be presentable again. I said, dang, you know.
And if you're going to cosplay, don't catch no attitude when somebody asks for your picture. I don't care if that's your 40th picture for the day. You know your cosplay is thebomb.com. Take the damn picture, or just say, I'm so sorry, I'm trying to go eat right now.
Or don't cosplay.
Oh, okay. That's another reason I
don't catch no attitude because if you catch one with me like this girl did last year, I'm gonna roll my eyes and say, girl, never mind, and fuck you, and I'm gonna walk off.
Oh, especially if you cosplay as Spider-Man, like one of our peoples.
Hey, Ray, Spider-Man love the kids.
Spider-Man.
Pedophile, R. Kelly. Like me, if my cosplay is the bomb and people keep asking me to take my pictures, I am not catching attitude.
No,
you want a picture?
It's a compliment, man. It's a compliment.
Pose.
Like it's a compliment. That's why people are like, oh, you know, they look just like them, or you know, the cosplay is really well made, so they want to take your picture. You can't be a dick about it.
Nah, I'm saying.
Don't cosplay nobody you don't know nothing about, because I want poses. I need you to do the poses right.
Especially if you were JoJo, if you cosplay JoJo, because my man Mark here will call you out.
I hate when I see a JoJo cosplayer and I ask them like, so what do you think of Vento Audio? Like, how do you feel about the you know what's going on? And they be like, what's that? I'm like, I'm like, it's the most recent season. How do you? And they'll be like, oh nah, bro, I only watched a little bit of Stardust Crusaders. I'm like, you mainstream bitch.
I felt that. I hope
you fucking choke on your pocket. You fucking pissing me off. And I don't like, because y'all know how I do with my speaker. I hate when I play the songs around the cosplayer and they don't know the song. I'm like, then why you even
Ooh,
dressed
that's my
up like?
word. Mm.
Why you even dressed up like them? Why you even dressed up?
Mm. It was like when I was playing that. I was playing a song from Kingdom Hearts, and only like a few people recognized it, and the rest was like, "Well, what's that? What's that song?" I'm like, "Y'all some bitches."
Ugh. I'll be back.
And then when we were playing it, I was remember me. He was like, "Oh yeah, this the part from like the Xemnas fight, and this and
Yeah,
that."
we was
Everyone,
calling all of it out.
yeah, and people turn around. They was like, "Bro, is that Kingdom Hearts?" I'm like, "But you
Is
cosplaying
that Kingdom
Roxas?
Hearts?
You cosplaying Roxas? How you not know?"
How you not know?
I'm done with
Oh
you.
no, bruh. I was playing. Yo, I was no. What made me mad was I played the original Yu Yu Hakusho theme because that's my shit.
Yep.
And nobody stopped. There was no looks or nothing. I mean, I got like a few, nods and shit, but like for the most part, everyone was like dead. And I'm like, how y'all not know this fucking song?
That's a classic.
That's a classic.
It's a classic.
And not
I
only
also
was it
felt
a
bad.
classic, like, bruh, it was all over Toonami. Like, I know y'all niggas watch Toonami. Like, come on now.
I felt so disturbed at the same time. I was hyped to see that people did know the Persona thing, but at the same time, I'm like, y'all niggas didn't even finish the game. I know you didn't,
Yeah,
because you don't
probably
even know
not.
what this theme. You don't even really know the theme is. You just knew it was Persona because of how it sounds, but you don't know this song. You don't know unless you finish the game. I know you don't.
Let me take it one step further. Because take someone like me. I never played Persona, but I can name all the songs.
I
Just
can
because.
almost name all the songs thanks to a couple people in the damn lounge.
I know.
Hey, despite them almost killing the soundtrack for you, bro, you gotta admit that's some good music.
Yo,
That's some
I
good
never.
music.
I meant to tell you this, Mark. Like I was at home and I was watching my nephews, and all of a sudden I'm in my room playing the PlayStation, and my nephew's out there playing the Xbox, and all of a sudden I hear "You Never See It Coming."
Oh, that's the battle thing.
Yo, I swear to God, I thought my nephew bought Persona. I was like, what the? I said, I realized it was you two. I was like, and I looked at him, and he's like 10. I said, "What you know about Persona?" He was like, "My older sister played it. I really like Persona." And this man, Mark, you be proud. He was like doing all the Persona poses, and he knew
Oh,
the characters. Like you'd have been happy. You'd have
that's what I'm
cried.
talking about. That's what I'm talking about.
Oh no, that's another good thing about like cons. Like when you see someone who does a character that you fucking love, like I swear to God, you turn like 5 years old again. Like I remember at Otakon, there was a dude that was cosplaying Raul from Fist of the North Star.
Bro,
And Raul is my
chick,
motherfucking
yo,
boy. That is like my favorite character in the whole series. So when I saw
bro.
that, I fucking marked out. Ray, you know how I get when I mark out. When I
and
mark out, it's like
and you
times
know that
10.
makes me sad because like he's not even in, he's not even in Jump Force. Raul's not even Jump Force, and he's like the
Yeah, that's
main
what made
villain.
me sad too.
But he's like the main villain of the series, and he's like Kenshiro's brother. Why is he not even in the game?
Ooh.
I said, y'all some terrorists.
Yeah, I'm not gonna put my boy in the game.
Okay. All right. Since we on there, y'all want to because I feel like this has been a long time coming, and I know Wallace, you have like a video game rant, and Mark, you do too. Is like y'all want to discuss your problems with some of the video games that's been coming out recently, because Mark, especially you haven't been not like in some of the video games that come
But
out.
I haven't
Like
been liking anything. I had like, I'm dead. They're killing my soul. They're killing my soul. I'm not liking nothing I see. I only liked 3 games.
Spider-Man.
Oh, no, that doesn't count. Like 2019 titles. Like, because if we really want to be honest, I'm still not over Persona 5. I replay Persona 5 at least once every 3 weeks. Like the whole game. I replay it. It's that good. I don't care if it came out in 2017 or 2018. I'm not done. It's not over. I don't care. Yeah, it came out in 2017. I don't care. It's not over. Persona 5 just came out to me. I don't care what no one says. It's not finished. I'm going to continue to play my game. Persona 5 might be my favorite game. Spider-Man did justice. Spider-Man was amazing. The problem was I knew exactly what would happen, and it did. I said this game is really good as far as the main campaign. Watch that DLC going to be kind of whack, and it's going to throw everything off, and that's what happened. I knew it. So, but because I knew that, I wasn't really too sad. I just knew like Spider-Man's replayability wasn't that high. So it is what it is. Kingdom Hearts 3. This may be an unpopular opinion, but me personally, it ain't all that. It's not a bad game, but it ain't good. It's not what I waited for 13 years, but it ain't bad. It's just not good. I'm going to leave it there with Kingdom Hearts for now. My review will be more in-depth later, but for right now, I ain't liking what I'm experiencing. And I will keep saying this. Kingdom Hearts 2 beats Kingdom Hearts 3 by a mile. Like, Kingdom Hearts 2 will eat 3 so fast. But that's my unpopular opinion.
You beating the game, right?
What, Kingdom Hearts?
Yeah.
No, and that's the problem.
Oh.
I don't want to.
That's really a problem because you're like somewhat of a completionist.
Yeah, and I love Kingdom Hearts. Bruh, there should be no reason why I'm done with Resident Evil 2. I platinum Resident Evil 2, and that game is good, by the way. I was obsessed with it. But there should be no reason why I'm done with Resident Evil 2, and I haven't touched Kingdom Hearts after that, not once. Like, it's not what I waited for, and I know I should be more, I guess you could say, expecting it. Like, I should expect that the game shouldn't be as good as what we waited for, but like at this point, bro, isn't that like the whole point? Like, we waited for so long to get something that's worthwhile, and like we're waiting 10 plus years for these games just to get something that could have been made in 2 years that would get like a B rating. I don't think Kingdom Hearts 3 deserves an A rating. I really don't. I think it's a B game, like a B minus so far. But it ain't all, yeah, it ain't all that. I'm excited for Devil May Cry 5 though. I'm really excited for Devil May Cry 5. Other than that, it ain't no game in 2019 that I even really care about right now. Jump Force.
You're not excited for MK11?
Mortal Kombat's not really my thing. I don't hate Mortal Kombat. I actually really like it. But because the community of gamers that I play with, I know if I get Mortal Kombat, it would be a waste of money because I'll have nobody to play with too often. And I'd rather just enjoy my RPGs and story games when I play by myself. So I'm
excited for Mortal Kombat 11, though.
Yeah, it's just like me personally. Like, I know that like fighting games for me, they are the shit, but at the same time, like they don't last long for me. So it's just like, like I'm hyped for it, and I want the game to be good. I love Mortal Kombat, but I don't know if I'll be getting Mortal Kombat 11. I don't know if it's for me. I just want my fucking HD remake of Xenosaga, but Ray's right. I ain't never gonna get it.
Nigga, I want an HD remaster of the first Parasite Eve.
Bro,
we ain't getting that.
You ain't the only one. You are not the only one.
Yes.
We're not getting that, bro. We're not getting that.
We're not getting that.
We probably won't.
No.
I'm still waiting on Shenmue.
I'm saying that's my shit. And then you're gonna have people that's gonna be like, "Oh, I love Shenmue." That's because you played the re-release, nigga. I remember, and I'm not shitting on those that played the re-release, but I remember when there was a time where Shenmue was like that game. Like everyone was like, "Bruh, this is like the most advanced game I ever played in my life." Like, bruh, you can put shit in the vending machine and then you can actually drink it. You can actually go to the arcade and play a real ass game. Like, bruh, I remember those days. But now it's like I feel like we don't get those moments anymore. You feel me? I feel like we don't get those like, oh my god, this is so amazing moments. Like, I mean, yeah, there was games like Red Dead Redemption 2 where people was like, oh shit, this is cool. Yeah, that's cool. And then like 2 weeks later, the game dead.
Yeah,
But
and
like,
my thing is, how y'all gonna sit up here and praise that game like it was Mad Game of the Year just for the awards, but then after that, no one played it anymore. And damn, I mean, I'm not saying this because I love Spider Man, but the game was good. Y'all ain't give Spider Man nothing.
I thought
Y'all ain't
Spider
give,
Man should have won at least something at the Game Awards.
bro. He didn't get. No, I said, God, leave nothing. But that's the thing. Like, I felt like I felt like Spider Man was like the childish Gambino of the gaming awards because everybody praised its work, but no one cared.
He got a Grammy though.
No. Early childish Gambino.
Oh, early China's game. Okay.
Yeah, like when he literally complained that he's not as big as he should be because his fans are 50 players. And he was right. I mean, because everyone back in the day was like, Gambino, where's your new stuff? And we love to hear from you. And he's like, I just put something out last week. You did? We didn't hear it because you wasn't following.
mm,
You say you do, but you don't.
mm, mm.
Unloyal,
Oh, I feel like
uncooperative.
that's most of today's society anyway.
Bruh,
I mean,
unloyal
yeah.
and
I mean, and it gets
uncooperative.
even worse. It gets even worse because like now that gaming is mainstream now, and now that we got and because gaming is mainstream, the game companies are like hiring other like not hiring other companies, but consulting with other companies, like financial institutions, they say to protect their assets because as these games get bigger and the money gets bigger, they need to they need to protect those. So I feel like it's gotten so big to the point where the integrity of the games themselves is suffering. Because we got games like Anthem that's coming out that looks really good, but people are side eyeing it because of the company that it's associated with, fucking EA. We got games like God of War, like the God of War for the PS4, amazing ass game, right? Everybody praised it, everybody loved it, but at the same time, it runs the risk of being milked because of its name. Just like they did with Battlefield, just like they did with Call of Duty, just like they're doing with Assassin's Creed, which breaks my heart because when Assassin's Creed first came out, like those first 2, 3 games that came out, it actually had a real fucking nice story. But then right after what's it called? I think right after Revelations and right after three,
Uh huh.
right after three, the story went all the way left. And it's just like, wow, okay, so you had something with like the games before three. Like you had a real nice cohesive story that actually told a real good story and that actually had a real good theme to it. But now, because the game and the name is so popular, we're gonna release one almost every year. And then we started getting, Assassin's Creed Rogue and Assassin's Creed what's that one? Assassin's Creed Unity. Like those games, while they have interesting shit to it, like Unity was based off in the French Revolution. What happened when that game came out? That game was so glitchy, people could barely play it. So it's just like, what are we doing with the integrity of these games? Are we just releasing games just to release them, just to make a quick buck? Is that really what we're doing? And honestly, that is what they're doing nowadays. They just gonna release a game that got a good name on it, and motherfuckers are gonna buy it. FIFA's done it for years. Madden's done it for years. Nigga, I know niggas that been buying Madden since '07, and they got every single one. Them shits fill up your fucking case. And then I'm looking at it and I'm like, bruh, like, look at this. This is a mess. I would like, bruh, like, why couldn't y'all just do what Overwatch did or what League of Legends did their format, make it free to play, and then update it every type of year, and then give incentives to those that pay for extra shit. But hey, no one trying to hear that though.
I think a lot more games are going to go to that since Apex. I know y'all haven't played Apex. I played Apex, and I'm not gonna lie, Apex is probably like the best battle royale game I've played so far. But I think a lot of since it worked for Apex, where they got like 10 million people in like 3 days, and like they're up to like 25 million now that has played the game and downloaded. And I think people are starting to see that. And it started with Fortnite because Fortnite was just free, and people just pay for skins and all that and these dances. So I think a lot more games are going to come to that, but I think it's still going to be traditional. $60 too.
I'm gonna correct you a little bit because Fortnite didn't start it. What really, if we really want to be if we really want to be technical, the real ones that started that shit was like the early MMOs. Like early MMO games really started that trend of putting out a free product, and then once like that product has been downloaded because it's free, then you start adding in paid shit, so then you can start making the money back. And the money comes in from like all the content that's compiled into one place. That's why they used to have expansion packs back in the day. So if you look at DLC in itself, DLC is basically expansion packs. It's just like a lot more condensed and a lot more specific. Because back then, when you had an expansion pack, it was a whole bunch of content that you installed into your base game, right? You couldn't play the expansion pack unless you had the base game. So with games like Fortnite and Apex and what's it called, PUBG, and all those other games that are out there that use that free to play model, all they're really doing is they're trying to add a MMO aspect to it, where you have a base game that's free, and then you can have like costumes or dances and shit like that when you pay money for them. So if we really want to give credit to where it's due, I'm gonna give credit to games like World of Warcraft and RuneScape and those type of games that like were really big, but made back the money by giving players incentive to pay for like whatever they release.
You is right about that because I do, even though I've never played World of Warcraft or RuneScape. I know those games was like very very popular and still popular to this day. Um, I think, but as you said, a lot of these games, especially sports games, they've been like regurgitating the same old stuff, and people are really getting tired of it, especially like in the 2K community. People are really getting tired of 2K, and it's obviously some of these people don't care. But also with the Assassin's Creed, I also agree with you because um, I've always been the guy that's been like, I don't want to see a Assassin's Creed 10. I feel like three is enough, and then if you could just move on with a new one, and that'll be it. That'll be cool. But I can understand you having a good franchise and milking it out. But after a while, the more you try to get out of it, the more stale it gets, and then the story just gets convoluted and confusing. So that's one of my biggest pet peeves. And it's also the people, especially like in fighting games. It's like I feel like in fighting games, people don't know what they really want until they get it. But because I remember Street Fighter, everybody was praising Street Fighter because it wasn't trying to do what it Street Fighter Five, because it wasn't trying to do what Street Fighter Four did, was like make you pay for everything, or like pay for every like game and update and all that other stuff, and then like coming out with the ultras and all that other stuff. And then when they try to do something different from five, I heard a lot of people that was that didn't like five. They said they should redo the game and call it Street Fighter Five Arcade Edition. And when they did do that, people got mad. But I was looking at it, it was like this is what y'all asked for, and second, first of all, this is what y'all asked for. Secondly, they didn't want to do this at all. They wanted to just like do the Overwatches and the PUBG stuff and even the MMOs. So I think a lot of the gamers have something to do with it too.
I mean, yeah, I see what you're saying, but that just goes into ignorance. That's just niggas not knowing shit. Like I always have to explain to people why game companies do shit a certain way. Cause you motherfuckers sit there and buy it. Y'all stay complaining about Call of Duty making the same shit over and over again, but you still got motherfuckers that buy it. Y'all complain about all this other shit, and then when you're done complaining, you still buy it. So you can miss me with all that. Like they gonna make their money regardless, and they gonna make your money trying to fuck y'all over. Like we haven't been warning y'all since 2008. We've been warning y'all like 2007, 2008. Don't buy it. It's the same shit over and over again. After Black Ops One, I was like, you know what, nigga, do what y'all want. Because at this point, y'all just ignorant.
Oh yeah, that's why I stopped buying Black Ops. I think actually, yeah, I stopped buying Black Ops after a long time because it was just like even then their story like Black Ops 3 is supposed to be where they ended the story and all that other stuff, and then when they came out with Black Ops 4, the first thing I said was why. The second thing, they took out the campaign, so they took out one third. And I don't care what anybody say, Blackout is not a great replacement for it. They took out one third of the game, which was the campaign mode, and I thought that was pretty stupid because there was people that actually did like the story, and then you're paying $60, whereas Fortnite is free. So it's just like, what kind of business are you think they're running? But people are surprisingly still bought Black Ops. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I got since I'm on PlayStation, I got a couple of people who's like, "You should buy Black Ops. You should buy Black Ops." I'm like, "No, I'm not buying the game. I won't play, but like one third of it, which is like the zombies. It's like, what am I gonna waste $60 for if I'm not even gonna play it that much? If anything, I just probably get it for free, like most people."
Yeah, Black Ops 4 was like that because it was like, what was it? It was Blackout, multiplayer, and zombies. And I'm like, huh? You
Yeah.
dedicated a whole mode to like one game mode that's like a trend now because Fortnite has a formula that works. The reason why formula the reason why Fortnite works is because you can build and shoot, which is what enticed a lot of people. But but like at the same time, I also feel like Black Ops 4 would have made a hella lot more money if they just what's it called? Like if they just did the free to play shit. Like if they just released Black Ops 4 and then released Blackout separately with free shit and do what Fortnite did, they would have made a whole lot more money. If you ask me.
Oh yeah, that definitely would have did that. But I don't know. I think people are just gonna buy what they're gonna buy because I know a couple people that's just like all they play is like two K and Black Ops and all the other stuff. So people don't really dabble dabble on other games like most diehard gamers do. So they'll just stick with their Black Ops and they'll just buy anything their kids ask them because like I'm not a big fan of Fortnite and paying for the dances. And this is before like they was selling rappers dances and not getting paid and not paying for them. I just couldn't grasp for. I don't know something about Fortnite never really
Well,
appealed.
that's also because the rappers who make those dances, they don't copyright or patent their stuff. Like Soldier Boy even brought that up. He was like, "Y'all don't see the Soldier Boy in Fortnite, even though like even to this day, Soldier Boy came out. The Soldier Boy came out like 11 years ago, and it's still popular. In fact, it's more popular now than it kind of was. Well, it's not more popular now than it was back then, but it's relevant. It came back, and that game should be in Fortnite just because of the popularity, but because Soldier Boy had his stuff patented, he knew what he was doing. That dance is not in there, but all the other dances are because they don't know how to patent their stuff.
Well, also Soldier Boy had help.
Yeah, he had help.
He had Chris Lighty, and Chris Lighty saw that that dance was really getting popular. That shit was on YouTube and all the other stuff, and he was like, "You need to copyright this shit." And that was, and not to like veer off, but when he was on Everyday Struggle, Wayno was trying to ask him, "How do you do that?" Because there's other artists that don't know how to do that, and
Yeah, and he didn't say how.
he never said how.
But I think that's something that shouldn't be said publicly. I think it should be something that should be said amongst people who are really trying to do that. Because the guy he was speaking to is not an artist, so why would he need to know?
Who Wayno?
He's not an artist, is
No, he manages artists. He used to manage artists.
he? Yeah. So like, I mean, talk to an artist about that. You don't need to talk to somebody who is recording live. Like that's not something that I think should be discussed out loud. It should be discussed amongst people who actually need to get that done, not people who just tune in. He could have just said, "I'll explain after the show."
I don't think he was ever going to. I still, honestly, I don't think he. This is just me. I just think he was there, but I don't think he knows how to like literally like go through it step by step.
He probably doesn't. He probably just got guided through the whole time, and that was it. But he doesn't
Yeah,
want to
he
admit
did.
that
He's a nigga.
because it's Soldier Boy. He's not going to
Yeah.
admit that he don't know how to do something because he can't admit that he's married because he's still in dating other people.
Okay. Is this a? By the way, okay, let's go to that because I think we talked as much as about the gaming thing. Um, why do people like Black China? Or
I
why
don't
do people
know.
fuck with Black China?
I don't know. Her face looked like a rolled up USB cord. So I don't know what's so interesting. I'm not. I don't find the sexual appeal.
Uh, you know what, Ray? I feel like if you ask that question, you can also ask why people. You can also ask why girls love Flavor Flav back then. I feel like it's the same argument. It's just because let's be honest, Black China is an undesirable. Let's be just completely honest here. But I feel like the reason why a lot of dudes or like these celebrities be dating Black China, it is because of the clout that she brings. Cause just think about that sentence alone. Oh
Oh,
shit,
you
he's dating
mean?
Black China. Like,
Oh,
first of all, if you dating Black
oh,
China, you're gonna trend on Twitter.
you mean like
Like,
Cass? You mean like the whole Castax thing back in the day?
yeah. Like,
Mm-hmm.
if you date Black China, you're gonna trend on Twitter. If Young Ma gets a new girl, she's gonna trend on Twitter. Bernice Burgos is trending on Twitter right now because she posted pictures with Young Ma. Just I just think it's just associated with what she brings. Like she's a whole brand. We can't deny that she's a whole brand, but at the same time, it's like,
Yeah, I'm gonna
dang,
deny she's just ugly.
that's not undesirable.
Yeah,
And she
that's
can't
just,
suck dick.
yeah, she's just ugly and useless. I don't know.
Yeah, but it's just like, but y'all know, like, it's not like Superhead. I feel like even Superhead, even though Superhead was a thought, there was something appealing about her. I say the same thing about Amber Rose. There's something like appealing about Amber Rose to me too, but like Black China, it's just like every time I see Black China and she's in the news for something, I'm like, really? And I'm like, why? And it might have been because she dated a Kardashian, but still, it was just like out of everybody, you want to pick Black China. But I guess, like you said, Wallace, her clout is like really huge, and she got a
Also, yeah, and also another thing that I want to point out, like I know how you said you find something about Amber Rose appealing. Amber Rose is classy. Like she a hoe, but she a classy hoe. Like she a hoe with
the
like
funny.
some
Go ahead,
semblance
go
of
ahead.
standards. So, but it's like with Black China, she'll be classy 1 minute, and then the next minute she'll be like raggedy. And it's just like, oh shit, she can kind of do both. So it like once they got those, it's like two flavors basically. So it's like I think that's what it is.
Okay. I mean, one thing I will. You already know my theory about Amber Rose. I don't think she's a hoe. I just think she's just perpetuating whole culture and getting paid off of it. But you could also be right. Um, and speaking of, you both of you have heard about the Nick Cannon thing, right? When he was like talking to RZA, and he was talking about having the sex with white women and all that other stuff, and looking at white
Yeah,
women as trophies, something like that.
yeah.
Hmm.
Or can you basically the whole thing was like basically can you be pro black and be with another race? What
Yeah.
did you talk about? What he was speaking of?
Who, Nick or RZA?
Nick Cannon.
I mean, Nick a fool, so he gonna do what he want regardless. I do personally think you could still be pro black and date another race because I mean, I just me personally, I just don't see the benefit in just dating inside your race. Like you can experiment, you can go out there. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't have to just like black women. You can don't have to like women of your race if you don't want to. I don't see why wouldn't you? Because that's what you see. But like, I mean, black women especially. I mean, it's a beautiful race of women. I think you should give them a try. Do I think you should date a black woman because you're black? No, but I don't think you should date a white woman just to have a light skinned child. If that makes sense.
Do you believe in a one drop rule?
What's the one job rule?
If you have one drop of black and you're black,
If I have a what?
basically like because they compare. You know how like you put Hershey's the chocolate syrup in the milk and you turn the chocolate is like where the dominant like the black male's genes are the dominant genes. So it's like if you procreate with another race is mostly the kid's gonna come out darker, so he's always be considered black. So that's basically what the one drop rule is.
Oh,
You never heard of
I
one drop rule?
no, cause I ain't thinking about kids.
It's not even that. It's like the whole dark skin, light skin thing, and you know how most light skinned people they either mixed or some of them consider themselves black,
Yeah.
even if their mother or father is white. So a lot of the light
I
skinned
didn't know there
people,
was a I didn't know there was a term for that.
yeah, the one drop rule, yeah. So
Oh.
I know most people believe in it, and then a lot of people don't. So
I mean, you can't determine how a child is going to look. You just have to wing it. If your child like cuz you could have a father with dominant genes, but the child could come out looking like the grandmother from the mother side. So you can't really say that. I don't know. You just gotta wait and see. Cause whole time you could be with a white woman and your baby could come out light skinned for 2 seconds and then it could get dark.
I mean, I feel like it's tricky because,
Yeah, it's
but
tricky, right?
my thing is like, because what I used to go with was if you like, if I look at you and we was back in the 1940s, would you be called a nigger? If yes, then you can say nigga. If no, you can't say nigga. So if so, it's like even if you do have like black in your family, if you don't look like it, they're not gonna let you get away with calling yourself black because you don't fit, the description for it. Even though you have it in your blood, you don't really fit the description for it. Just like that streamer we was watching, what's her name? Lily Stella. She got Haitian in her, right?
yeah,
But she looked like a whole white girl. She's a whole white girl. So and she was trying to justify her saying nigga with the fact that she has Haitian in her blood, and I'm like, no, you can't just say that because like I said, if this was 1940, you would not be considered a nigga. So if you can't be considered a nigga, then you can't say nigga, or you can't really claim black, even though you have it in your family.
Yeah, it's a tricky scenario. That's why it sucks being light skinned. Like I'm sorry, like the girls may choose y'all first, but society chooses y'all last.
you really think so? Because a lot of dark skinned women feel like the light skinned women always get chose first.
Yeah, I mean they get chosen first as far as like, you know, not the smart part of society.
Okay. So what you think about the Nick Cannon situation though, Wallace?
Um, whether if you date out of your race, if you're pro black or not.
Yeah.
So let me see. And it's funny because I actually had this discussion with a friend of mine who like he's gay but he dates black men. So when someone said that to him, he got offended. But I'm like, yes and no. I'm gonna say yes and no. Yes, because you can still be pro black because even though you're with someone who's outside of your race, you can still give respect to black women. At the end of the day, you still have a black mother. At the end of the day, you're still around black people. Like so you can fight for them. But at the same time, I know what it means to be pro black. A lot of people they find that with having black children and finding a black wife so you can build a black family. A lot of like being pro black basically means pro black family. So if you're with a let's say you're with like an Indian girl, if you're a black guy and you're with an Indian girl, your kids, yeah, they're gonna be black because of you, but like they're gonna be mixed. So there's always that chance of them identifying with the other race. Or um if you marry an Indian chick and you die and your Indian chick inherits your money, whose community is she giving it to? Hers or yours? So it's like I understand what they mean when they say you're not pro black if you date outside of your race, but I feel like it's both. I feel like it's yes and no. There's something to give, there's something to gain, and there's something to give away. I don't think it's just completely just black and white like that.
The funny thing is, I think when I watched it, first of all, that's the first time I ever heard of RZA. Because when I've heard RZA, I thought they was talking about the rapper from Wu Tang. I
No,
didn't know who this
River
dude was.
Islam or whatever his name is.
Oh yeah, that was the first time I ever like heard of that dude. And all of a sudden, he started popping on Instagram a lot, and I was like, okay, get your 15 minutes. But I think a lot of people don't understand Nick Cannon's perspective and the fact that he doesn't even believe in a traditional relationship because he done tried that with Mariah and he had two kids with her. He got another kid with someone that he said he wasn't in a relationship with. So they were just fucking. So I think the whole perspective is Nick Cannon just want to fuck white women. And I think a lot of people I think I don't want to say a mansplaining, but I think a lot of people were misinformed. I think he's coming from the aspect of not like trying to start a community with a white woman or something like that, or but I think he just want to fuck white women and then just be about his business. But he also said like he goes to Howard. He goes to he goes to Howard. He goes to the marches. He supports like black businesses and all that other stuff. My thing is, if you do all that, where do you go home to? Because I understand there are rich black communities. I've seen them. There are poor black communities and all that other stuff. Are you living in a rich black community society, or are you living amongst white people? He's like one of the few black people you live amongst some white people. It's like where do you lay your head at? Because if you're really about the community and all that other stuff, um, what are you building inside the community to help more people get jobs?
Right. And at the same time, and it's funny that you say that because at the same time, yeah, we know that like of course we know black people can be very successful and make a lot of money. But at the same
Most
time,
people
people
don't
don't.
know that Prince George's County got some of the most black millionaires other than Atlanta. It's like we
Yeah,
have black millionaires around here.
yeah, but the thing, but like when we talk about it, because like whenever we talk about it, there's always people that's like, "Yo, but Obama was president. You got people that's making a lot of money that are black. Look at Jay-Z and Beyonce," and it actually takes away from that argument because we still have plenty of black people that still on Section 8. We still have plenty of black people that still live in the projects and can't get out because their money's not right. like we we still have all of that like within the community. So I think it's funny how yeah we do have black millionaires and shit like that, but To those other people, to those other people that can't get it because of their skin color, what are you gonna say to them? It's like that. So I mean, I guess we just gotta find a way to really we gotta find a way to inspire people to, get out there and really like expand their knowledge when it comes to finances and making money and how to save money and how to invest money and shit like that. But also at the same time have a black like higher class that is not only higher class but it's actually for the people too.
Right. I totally agree. I've been saying this for a long time. We need to stop doing all this talking and start doing this walking. So that's why I like what Killer Mike is doing with the trigger warning, and even this Gucci boycott. Because I know we talked on it last week, and there's a couple people like Floyd and Kodak Black that's not really with it. But even though Floyd, I disagree with Floyd said. He was like he was gonna do what he wanted. He's not a follower and all that other stuff. He did say something really interesting today. He said, and I have to agree with him with this. He said a lot of these celebrities, you tell you to boycott it for 3 months, and then what? What's it going to do? Is it going to hurt their profits?
Nope.
Is like really going to hurt their profits and all that other stuff? He said a lot of y'all was boycotting the Super Bowl and then boycotting the NFL. Come the Super Bowl, y'all was watching that. He's wrong about that though because that was like the lowest rated Super Bowl in like 10 years. But I saw what he was going at. He said y'all was gonna boycott R. Kelly, and I don't know if he was right about that, but he was like, yeah, all y'all jumping on these boycotts, but y'all not really doing much. So are y'all just talking or are y'all just walking? So what do you think about what he was saying about that?
um I agree. I think there's a lot of black people that aren't about that life when it comes to canceling and boycotting shit because niggas is hard headed. But at the same time, like it does send a message. Like you're just not gonna sit there and fuck us over. Like you're not just gonna sit there and do some shit and we not gonna feel some type of way about it. So I feel like it does send a message. The only issue is it's just like protesting. Remember when Mike Brown got killed and Trayvon Martin got killed and we was marching for like from 2011 to like 2016 we've been marching a whole lot. Like you notice that?
Right.
Yeah, and they was talking about marching is cool, but what comes after the march? Like what are we gonna build? What we gonna do? What have they built other than hashtag Black Lives Matter, which was funded by George Soros, who's shady as fuck. Like other than that, like what have we really done? We didn't really get no laws passed. We ain't really even get no tangibles. Like we ain't get nothing that's specifically for black people. Everything that we got from that point on has been crumble, hand me down crumbs. So it's just like, okay, so what are y'all really fighting for? Because if y'all really wanted to get shit done, y'all would have been shut down this country. I'm telling, like, someone said this. Someone said this in a podcast I was listening to. If black people really wanted to shut down America, we could. Like, quite honestly, we could. It's just that black people still love white people too much.
I agree with that. Someone put. It's funny you say that because I saw it on Instagram and I forgot whose page was it on, and I need to. I think I know his page because I. But he looked up this whole video and it was like, how do you get the Negro to buy your stuff? And it's like the Negro wants recognition, and it's a very old video too. It's like the Negro wants recognition. Where he comes from doesn't get recognized or not. So when he gets that, he wants the recognition and then he wants more of it. So that's why when like you put some of these black artists in like Gucci and all the other stuff, and they talk about how much dripping they are, they want that recognition. So you it's kind of hard to get them to wean off of those designer clothes because all their life they was like these designer clothes um talked about their stature or something like that and made them feel like they was better than a lot of other Negroes that couldn't afford it. So I always thought that was cool. Which I've been saying this for like the boycott. I'm glad the boycott's happening, but at the same time, are any of these celebrities endorsing black owned businesses, like black owned restaurants, black owned, like I know Ti, like people like Ti, Killer Mike, Rick Ross, they have businesses, but are um I don't see it much on their Instagram page. Like this is like like Ti. I feel like he's in front of this boycott thing. He could be the main one putting everybody on these black fashion designers,
Mm-hmm.
not and endorsing it on his Instagram page, just like the Instagram women did with Fashion Nova. Because to me, Fashion Nova came out of nowhere, and you see all these women wearing Fashion Nova stuff, and Fashion Nova is getting bread now. Now, like especially like saying to Amber Rose, she said I made $2 million just off of Instagram alone. Is that why? Because of Fashion Nova and me endorsing Fashion Nova and all that stuff. And since everybody's paying Fashion Nova, I'm getting paid for endorsing it. So why don't some of these celebrities endorse some of these black owned businesses? And I feel like that should be the next step, but I don't feel like no one's doing it.
Well, yeah, nah, I agree with you. The only thing that I would say is I mean, like I do see some celebrities promoting black businesses, and I do see people like promoting black businesses. The only issue is that they don't go the extra mile. Like they'll name drop, but they won't actually go to the black business. So it's just like, okay, I'm aware of it, but like, yo, can I get some like customer feedback? Like, can you read some reviews? Like they name drop it, but there's no commercial. So it's just like, okay,
Exactly.
I know what it is, but like, is it good? I'm not just gonna go there, spend my money, and then if it's some shit, then that's it. I need a commercial or like something to entice me to go there instead of you just name dropping and saying that, oh, because it's a black business, we gotta support. Black businesses can be shitty too. Black businesses can have shitty customer service. Black businesses can have shitty products.
Right.
So it's not enough to just be a black business. We should only support black businesses that are not only thorough but like have good products, have good customer service, like they're actual competitors. They're not doing it just to serve our community, but they're doing it to serve everyone to get their bread up, and then we can get representation in the fact that, oh shit, this brother's doing it real big, and it's nothing but black owned, but it's nothing but black people working there. So it's just like we need to stop being so local with this shit. I mean, we should start off local, but build to be global. That's what we need to be doing.
Exactly, because I'm pretty sure Gucci and them, the Gucci, the Fendi, the Prada, they was probably local. It was like only in Italy, and then all of a sudden they just expanding around the world. I just want to, and this is just me, and this is what I think I've been telling Xavier, because Xavier's in the high end fashion. Now, me, I admit I'm not fashion at all. I'm nowhere near fashion. I dress like I'm from 2003. I wear like my hoodies are from cartoons and old game shows and shit. Like especially my Legends of Hidden Temple stuff. But I've always said this. I said Fat Farm and Fubu could have been where Gucci was,
Yeah.
especially like why like you don't have to wear the casual stuff because but we why can't we have a black fashion that could compete with Gucci and Fendi and Prada in them? Is like why the like all the rappers, like I remember growing up, I hear a lot of rappers, when they promoted Fubu, they promoted Sean John, they promoted Apple Bottom Jeans. To this day, like with the yoga pants, why isn't Apple Bottom Jeans on top of that? Especially when people are so infatuated with with the ass. Why isn't Apple Bottom Jeans the most popular brand out right now? Especially with yoga pants. They would have made a killing, in my opinion. So why can't none of our people could be shared in the same spotlight as one of them, and that's what I want to see.
And I feel like we were close too. I feel like we were getting to a point where that was going to be the case too. Because
You know who I blame?
what do you say?
Kanye. You know who I blame?
Oh, you blame Kanye?
I blame Kanye. And you know how much I love Kanye, but I blame him for that. Cause remember, because that was during that era when like 50 Cent had his genuine clothing. You had Rockaway, you had Sean John, and people was wearing that. You was even seeing it in movies like like Nick Cannon Love Don't Cost a Thing with like Christina Milian gave him Sean John. He was like, "Oh snap, Sean John, I don't get these," and he was like, he looked fly. Like you saw that, and then when did it all change? When Kanye was wearing these Ralph Lauren polos and all that other stuff, and then it all, and then like it started from him, and then I think it was like it went to like Young Dro because Young Joe was wearing a lot of polos, and then it went from polos to like Gucci and then Versace, and I think that's what killed uh all the black label clothes because nobody was wearing that stuff in it. Now it's all like Alexander Wang and all the other stuff. Like you don't ever hear them talk about black clothing in our rap songs and all the other stuff. And that's the biggest way to get our the brands across.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you on that. And that was a good point that you made because and to add on to that, it's really bittersweet because other people love copying black people. Whenever we doing something, some other race is getting into that shit too. Like they gonna get mad at me for this, but I don't care. I'm making this a point. I remember I was going to my BTS marathon, right? And they have a song. They have a song called Hip Hop File. And in that song, they talking about how they love rap music because they was listening to Biggie, they was listening to Nas, they was listening to like all these black rappers that don't like they got their own swag, they got their own image, like they branded themselves. And they branded themselves to a point where other motherfuckers in other countries are literally copying what they doing. Or they got inspired by their style and they make their own style with their own cultural shit in it. So when I heard that song, I was like, wow. Like, I'm telling you, they love nigga shit. The world loves nigga shit. So I don't understand how we have rap music, we have like the whole hip hop culture that everybody around the world loves, but we're the last ones making money off that shit. Come on now.
I tell you, and I'm gonna tell you why. And I've always said this. Um, we're like the kids that have a lot of toys, and then like hip hop is one of the toys that we used to play with a lot, but now we don't play with it no more. So like when like someone else wants to play with that toy, we're trying to snatch it away. It was like, no, that's our toy. That's why I feel about that with like hip hop. It was like everybody else wanted like to play like to be in hip hop and all that other stuff, and we feel like they're not playing with it or appropriating the culture, culture appropriation. And I've always said they can't appropriate our culture if we disrespected it first. Because like I remember watching Cadillac Records, and that was the blues. And if you go over there to like somewhere like England, England loves the blues. They love black artists. They love R. I feel like they love R&B over there, and this the white people. Not even talking about the black people. They love R&B over there more than we love it over here, and that's why like some of them, those artists, they go over to Europe, and like even Waka Flocka, they go over to Europe, they make their money over there, and they don't even have to work again. But we kind of look at them as like washed up. We don't really look at them as legends. And that's why, like, even what you said with your BTS, it's like they love Biggie, Pac, and all that other stuff. Here, um, people's like, oh, Pac is like, don't pull up that old Pac shit. Or I know there's some kids that like him, but you know, most of them was like, man, don't play that old shit. It's like, why you always playing that old shit? You know, like play some new shit and all that stuff. So that's how I feel about that, at least.
Yeah, and I also heard a great point that I think you said before. We don't have a wall with our shit. We don't close off our shit. We like they said the number one mistake hip hop did was made it all inclusive. And I'm like, I kind of agree with that because if we had a wall around hip hop and said, yo, if you want to do this hip hop shit, don't forget where the fuck it came from. You're gonna be paying these black people because we are the ones that made this shit. We are the ones that made this shit popping. If we would have did that with hip hop, we would have been the most powerful motherfuckers on the planet. But because we wanted to make hip hop all inclusive because of our history and what Martin Luther King done taught us and shit like that, we kind of just hand off our shit, and then other people make hella money from it. But then it's like you said, we get mad, but we the ones disrespecting it in the first place by handing it off so often. You don't see black people doing fucking Japanese music because Japanese have a stronghold on their shit. You want to see white people really doing what's it called, Indian music, or like
Hmm.
Indian, like an Indian style of music, because they have their shit copyrighted. Bollywood, that is their shit, and it's going to come from Bollywood only. The goddamn it. So I mean, yeah, it's cool that we got people like Eminem and MGK that can spit their ass off. When it comes to that, that's fine. But just when it comes to business and when it comes to marketing, it should be black because it came from us. It came from the fucking streets of New York. Like
Right.
we should have a stronghold on that, and we should be the ones making the most money, not all these other record labels with white ass faces on them trying to dictate what is good, what is good for us to listen to, and what's not good for us to listen to. That's why a lot of old heads nowadays only listen to the old shit and not really much of the new shit. Because with the old heads, they knew that it came from a because the old heads, they knew that their era of hip hop, it came from a genuine ass place. You had rappers that were actually from the hood speaking about hood shit, made their records, but guess what? They still live in the hood. Now, hood niggas, yeah, they can make records, but if they blow up, they move from the hood, they move to like the suburbs, or they buy like a big ass house away from the hood, and they're still talking about hood shit. And it's like, bruh, what? Now y'all just making a whole bunch of money from it. And then niggas are surprised when those damn rappers 5 years from now are never to be seen again and probably broke as all hell.
Right. Right. That's it. Okay. One more topic, and then I can like wrap this up. Obviously, I didn't watch the Grammys, but I did keep in touch with a couple things. One was that Cardi B won hip. She won the best rap album, and that Motown was done by J Lo. So I was wondering, what's your opinion on it?
Oh Lord, J Lo, J Lo, J Lo, J Lo. I just thought it was an L from the very beginning. As soon as they announced that J Lo was gonna do it, I'm like, you know, niggas are not gonna like this. First of all, it's fucking February. Second of all, Motown started in Detroit with nothing but black people. It was nothing but niggas over there. Third of all, J Lo, like, she's not the strongest lyricist, or she's not like the strongest singer,
Or vocalist?
or yeah, or vocalist. That's the word I was looking for. So the on paper, her doing a Motown tribute is like, no, absolutely fucking not. And you know
And
what?
funny part is, not to cut you off. Funny part is, people love J Lo, but at the same time, you could tell the Grammys didn't give a fuck because you could have asked any R&B you could have asked Mary J. Blige, like at least Mary J. Blige, to like do a Motown tribute or something like that. It's like, well, go ahead, as you were saying.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. And they was doing that. They were saying Mary J. Blige, Fantasia was there. Like there was a whole bunch of people that you could have used. But the fact that y'all used J Lo, it was like, bro, y'all like it low key seemed like you trying to undermine black people in Black History Month by doing that shit. Because many, there's so many singers out there that could have done that shit justice. I watched her performance. Yeah, it was cute. You know what I'm saying? She was doing her little dances, and the lights was cool and everything. But people didn't fuck with it because of what it represented. It represented someone who's outside of the community, paying tribute to people, tribute to people who look like us, and started a whole. They started a whole like dynasty of just classics and a whole era of shit that we can lay our foundation on. And then you gonna have someone who's outside of the community, fucking pay tribute. Nigga, if we was in the Latin Music Awards and y'all asked fucking what's her name? If y'all asked fucking let's say Mary J. Blige, if y'all asked Mary J. Blige to sing some fucking uh hits from like the 80s when Spanish music was like huge or some shit, y'all would throw a fit. And they be like, oh hell no. You better get Gloria Estefan or someone. You're not gonna let Mary J. Blige sing all them classics. We want someone from our community representing us doing that shit. But when
Yeah,
it comes to black people, oh no, we just gonna get anybody.
that's like Lil Kim singing Selena. It's like hell no, you do not do that.
Yeah, and it's like, okay, Lil Kim can be a fan of Selena. A lot of people outside of the community love Selena. But when it comes to doing a tribute to Selena, you'd probably want someone who looks like you. I'm just saying.
Right. So, what you thought about Cardi B winning best rap album of the year?
Okay. Cardi B winning best rap album wasn't an issue for me. First of all, I think that album's better than Queen. Let's just be honest. The Cardi B's
Oh,
album is way better than Nicki Minaj's album. That's a fact.
way better.
Way
Way
better.
better.
That's not even up for debate. Second of
Not
all,
it at all.
because I like how they had Mac Miller in there and shit like that, and it was. I just don't think it was a strong. I just don't think it was like a strong list of like strong albums. I mean, they had Drake's album Scorpion in there, but that album wasn't that good either. As a matter of fact, I don't even remember much of the songs in there except for like the hits. And when you got, shit like that, it's like when you have albums like that, it's like, oh, okay, yeah, well, you just dropped something, but ain't nothing really stuck out to me. And what else they had? They had like Mac Miller, like I said, which was also a really good album. But Invasion of Privacy by Cardi B, that was like her Miseducation of Lauryn Hill, like if you know what I mean. Like that's like her art. That's like her in her purest form. And I feel like the reason why everyone fucks with that album so much and why it was so successful is because it's a Cardi B album. It's not a rap album. You feel me? So it's like when she won that award, I feel like she deserved it. And I feel like it's just a testament to how she has grown doing this music shit and going from loving hip hop to doing music, and how people wasn't really trying to fuck with her or give her a chance, and how what's his name, DJ Self was
No.
like being wishy washy towards her. So it just came full circle that, oh, now she got a Grammy, so now she can you can't take that away from her. That's like for life. You can never take that away from her. Just like Lauryn Hill, you can never take that Grammy away from her. She was considered one of the best at that time. And now Cardi B wins this Grammy. And then you gonna have people talking about, oh, she didn't deserve it. Oh, it wasn't even that good and shit like that. And it's like, first of all, like the main reason I feel like Invasion of Privacy won was just because it was a strong album. Like, first of all, like not just a strong rap album, like a strong album in general. And the amount of work that was put in there, and like the amount of and the content that was put in there, and what she was rapping about, and like the cohesiveness of the beats and everything, like it's a really fucking good album that you can keep listening to over and over and over again. It has a lot of longevity. So she does fucking deserve that album, that Grammy. But for people to say that she don't deserve it, like those, I mean, you always gonna have haters that say you don't deserve shit once you came from somewhere, and then now you at the top, because they want to bring you right back down again because they feel like now that you're at the top, you're not gonna be humble about it or something. But I mean, Cardi B is confident in herself, but you would say that she was humble because she always talks about her struggles, and she always tries to make her successes relatable. From what I've seen, you saw the rant that she had that she deleted on IG, right?
Oh, she deleted her whole Instagram, but I did see the rant.
Yeah, yeah.
And I
So
felt bad for her with that rant.
you did what now?
I felt bad for her that she had to do that rant.
Yeah, and it was like, yeah, I do feel bad that she has to rant about this shit because this is supposed to be her moment. She's supposed to be celebrating. She's supposed to be commemorating the fact that she worked so hard to get there. She made that album and promoted that album while she was fucking pregnant. Like, it's not like she just fucking woke up one day say I wanted to be a rapper and won a Grammy. Like, there was a meticulous process to get there. It wasn't like she just got the resources to just make one album and then win a Grammy. You know what I'm saying? She had to strip to get where she was now. She had to fix her teeth. You know, there was like people always had something to say about Cardi B no matter what she did. When she was a stripper, niggas had something to say. When she was on Love and Hip Hop, niggas had something to say. When she had her first single that was making all these awards and breaking all these records, niggas had something to say. So I think she just got to a breaking point, and then that rant and how she deleted her whole IG is her basically saying, "Fuck y'all, I had enough. This is my breaking point. I'm just gonna celebrate in private in private." I mean, yeah, she's still on Twitter now and shit like that, but the fact that she deleted her whole IG, like, bruh, that's not that's not small.
I would say this. And this is coming from someone that's totally Cardi biased, and like I've said this so many times, like especially when it came to like the Cardi Nicki beef. I was trying to be fair. I was really trying to be fair, call it down the middle, but obviously I was like always on Cardi's side because I always thought Nicki, you a grown ass woman, you shouldn't be acting like this. But other than that, I'm like you. I also didn't have a problem with it, and I couldn't complain because on this YouTube page, I had my top 10 albums, not even like hip hop albums, just top 10 albums of like 2018. And Cardi B's out of Invasion of Privacy, Mac Miller Swimming, Victory Lap by Nipsey Hussle, and Daytona with Pusha T, which I also love, and Astro World, which I thought was okay. Um, like the only album that was on that top 10 was actually Cardi B, which is saying something because I liked all these albums, but obviously they didn't make my top 10. Obviously,
Yeah,
because I didn't go back to it because I went back to Cardi B's album, surprisingly, and maybe Pusha T's more, but I went to Cardi B's album more. The album I really thought the best rap album personally, that's Lupe Fiasco, but he's blackballed, so I'm pretty sure he's not going to win a Grammy. But other than that, but it's just like I can see why people were mad because she didn't write her stuff. Obviously, I did. She probably wrote some of it, but she didn't write all of it. And I thought if she wasn't going to get it, Mac Miller was going to get it because he died. And I figured they might go and give him the pity. And I'm not going to lie, even though, like I said, his album was really good, I thought they was going to give him the pity Grammy because he dead. Because nobody was really talking about this album until he died. I don't
right,
even think, and this is be honest, this is why, and I know Kayla, she ain't here right now to talk about this, but she's a big Mac Miller fan. So,
right,
but I've also said this. I feel like if Mac Miller wasn't dead, he wouldn't have been nominated. As good as that album was, um, I feel like she did deserve it though because, like you said, you saw her grind from the bottom and struggle and all this and being with wishy-washy people, being on Love and Hip Hop, promoting her brand, people like genuinely fucking with her, and then like you see her winning Grammy, and then you want to be happy for her, like, but you also have your haters that just don't like Cardi, and I think this one but like I said, with this one, I can see why people would not like Cardi getting it because of who she was up against. Like Mac Miller, dope lyricist, Nipsey Hussle, dope lyricist, Pusha T, very dope lyricist, and Travis Scott. He's looked at in the same light as Kanye, which is he's like a great producer. He's an okay lyricist, but his music does put you in a trance. Um, I've so but anybody that knows how the Grammy works, knew that Cardi was going to get it, and I was okay with it, and I think a lot of people should. But I've also said this about Cardi. She need to stop letting like people get to her and all the other stuff. Like haters is gonna hate. It's like
Yeah,
some people are not gonna like that you won album of the year. Some people don't even like that you got the number one album, even if you won a Grammy or not. Some people are not gonna like that. So you might as well just take your trophies and championships and just bounce. So
yeah,
that's basically most I gotta say about that.
and and just a quick point to be made. Like, I mean, but that's why Nas made that song "Hate Me Now." Like, that's literally why he made that song, because when you get to the top of certain things, or like when you're above people at a certain in a certain position, that's when you gonna have people that's gonna be like, oh, he a sellout, oh, this and that, this and that. That's when they're gonna have the most to say about you. But when you're coming up grinding, that's when they're saying, oh, you the shit, you the shit, you the shit. Now all of a sudden, I'm getting recognized by other people for my work that are in these high positions of powers, and now I'm a sellout, and now I'm so hated and all this and all that. That's why he made that motherfucking song. And I feel like Cardi B needs to make a song like that. If you ask me, I feel like she needs to hate me now, or
That'd
like,
be
yeah, that'll be dope. Like a song that just says, that addresses the haters head on and be like, I'm over here now, hate on me, I'm still gonna have all this support, I'm still gonna have all this money and shit like that. If she did a song like that, bruh.
You're right. Also, I know I said I was gonna let this go, but I forgot. I just realized when you said sellout. Funny thing is, good transition. When you said sellout, I thought about the Steve Harvey and Monique thing. We should
Woo!
discuss that. We should discuss that real quickly because I know you and I got places shit to do. Costco's tomorrow.
Yeah.
What was your thoughts on
Okay. So I watched that clip multiple times so I can get the proper context of what was being discussed. And
that? Right.
two things. First of all, I do not like how Steve Harvey kept talking over Monique. I feel like Monique. Obviously, we know
Me
Monique.
neither.
We know Monique did what she did because she felt like she actually had a case, and which she did, right? And that was her whole thing about now boycotting Netflix. I felt like that was a reach, but I did feel like it was coming from a good place. I did feel like she was genuinely hurt by the fact that Netflix didn't see her as like a top name that she shouldn't get more money. But at the same time, people was telling her, but can you sell out Madison Square Garden? I mean, you could do all that shit like 20 years ago, but now, like, are you even relevant? So it's like I understand both sides of the argument with her, but Steve Harvey tried to make it seem like, sis, you just gotta take the money where you can get it because we black. We ain't got opportunities like that. Don't and all this other shit. And I'm like, I understand what Steve is saying, but it is that's not the wise thing to do in this particular case because Monique knows her worth. Monique been in the game more than 20 years. So to tell her to just take the money because her pride shouldn't get in the way of seeing her kids eat or whatever is kind of disrespectful because it undermines the fact that she is looking out for her best interest and she is trying to negotiate in a way that gives her the value that she's obtained in those 20 years. You can't just tell somebody, man, just take that money, bro. There's gonna be other opportunities, and you don't want to stop your kids from eating. But if that compromises my integrity, and if that compromises the fact that I feel like I should be getting a higher payout because of my name and what I could bring to the brand and the audience that I attract and shit like that, no, I'm not going to take that money. I want more because I know my worth out here. And I feel like also part of it has to deal with the fact that she's a black woman. And the reason why I say that is because of the quote Malcolm X said that said the black woman is the most disrespected person on earth. So I feel like the way that Steve Harvey was talking over Monique and not really letting her get her point across, even though she was trying to have a cordial conversation with Steve Harvey. That's why I don't like to hear that they argued or like they had a heated like argument or whatever. I feel like they just had a discussion, but because Steve Harvey is in a certain position in his life in his career, he was talking way too passionately about a topic that honestly has really nothing to do with him because he was never really put in that position in the first place. Everything that he built, most of everything that he built, he kind of did himself or in collaboration with other black people. I mean, yeah, there were some white things that he did here and there, but he solidified himself to a point where most of the shit that he does, he owns. Like he owns his own podcast, even though the podcast that he does and the radio show that he does it with is owned by another person. But other than that, he owns that. He has his own TV show. Like he has things that he owns. He has his own non for profit things where he does things for black boys and shit like that. So he has his own shit when it comes to that. So he knows his worth because he has the worth to prove that. But with Monique, it's different in her case because this is a woman that honestly felt like her value was not being represented. So she wanted to negotiate that, but now the narrative is that oh she's ungrateful and she's washed up and she shouldn't be asking for so much money because this is a new generation now. It don't matter. And I'm siding with Monique. I'm siding with Monique in this particular discussion because she told Steve Harvey like, bruh, like I understand what you're saying, but at the same time, the shit that we've been through, we should be able to be paid big. We should be able to, have overabundant amount of success. So I understand what you're saying. We both basically saying the same thing. You're just saying you're gonna take it because it's money. And I'm like, oh, that's why Tariq that she put him on the coon train because it's like, oh nah, that sounds a little soft shoeing, you know what I mean? Kind of soft shoeing there a little bit. But other
Did
than
you
that,
watch
yeah,
that?
I understand
Did
what
you
both
watch
of
the
them meant.
video?
I don't think it was enough for him to be put on the coon train, but hey.
Not to cut you off. Did you watch the little radio show he did on it?
Oh, Tariq?
Yeah.
Oh no, I didn't get to watch it yet.
Oh, that one was really good because you're basically, I think you're basically saying the same things he said, but he did a little bit more clowning on Steve. But um, the way I saw it, because when you showed it to me, the one thing I said was, hmm, and because I saw the little minute blog, the little minute joint, and
Yeah,
then I watched it the whole because just like you, I wanted to see it the whole video just so I could get the whole perspective out of it. And one thing I do like you, I do jump on Monique's side because one thing like you've always talked about is like your integrity and your pride and all that other stuff. But I also thought Steve made some points too. It's just that not for this, and it's not what we need. And I also think, like you said, Steve Harvey knows his worth, but he's also stuck in the old ways where you have to code switch because that's what he basically was talking about when he said like Sydney, your husband Sydney can't be the Sydney that he usually is. But when he's around white folks, he got to be another part of Sydney, and we all consider that as code switcher, as most black people do. This is like we gotta like talk white or
yeah,
like have this like white. We have to not fear black, not to try to fear these white people because like we as black people we have this look that we could just look at white people and they will shit their pants in
yeah,
fear. So I get what he was talking about that, but where he lost me was like you got to conform because I think in this day and age and it's funny you say that because he has all these platforms and podcasts and nonprofit organization. He has a name out there. He could start his own shit, but I think that white people money that he's getting is getting him too comfortable where he don't really start his own shit, or he's
yeah,
dependent too much on that white people money to pay everything. Because that's why he says if I go down, my family goes down, and everything goes down. And I really think he said that because he put all his investment on the white people money he was getting because he doesn't have that show no more. He's lost it to Kelly Clarkson of all people, which which is weird because Kelly Clarkson has been irrelevant forever, and then and Steve Harvey, and this kind of like proves our point. It's like no matter how hard we work, somebody white will always take our job. Will take a job, and then like it's like our parents said, you have to work twice as hard to get half of what you get. What has
Yeah,
Kelly Clarkson done in the past 10 years? I don't even think she's put out albums in like the past 10 years. She has been relevant since American Idol. How did she
but
get a talk
but
show?
but it's funny you say that too because that's what she's eating off of. She's eating off of the fact that she was the first ever American Idol.
But that was like what 2000?
Yeah, that was almost 20 years ago.
It was 20 years ago. Steve Harvey.
Damn, I feel
Steve Harvey
old. I
has
remember
like
that
8
episode
jobs.
too.
That's the funny part with me. Steve Harvey has like 8 jobs. He's done Family Feud. He's probably the best Family Feud host, and he's probably the best Family Feud host I've ever seen. Um, he does other stuff. He's been in movies. He's written books. He's been in a couple TV shows. He still does stand up and all that other stuff. Steve Harvey works his ass off, and yet he loses his job to a white woman that hasn't done nothing since American Idol. So, so Steve, he to me, like you said, he has his platform. He should like be good enough where he doesn't have to rely on white people money. But I think he's put everything into that white people money, and if, like you said, if that goes down, everything goes down with it. So he's comfortable with that white people money, so you don't have to like do his own thing. And that's the problem I had with Steve. I don't think he was cooning, but like Tariq said, a lot of those people are just stuck in their old ways, and it's not really like you don't really need to do that no more. But to him, he feels like he needs to do that, and that's why he was talking like that to Monique.
That's wild. I don't watch that video.
Oh, it's a very good video. It's funny because it's like some the thumbnails is like some tap dance shoes, like soft shoe, and some chicken and some butter biscuits.
Oh yeah. I
And
saw the thumbnail.
and right there, the thumbnail had me laughing. But yeah, he said Tariq, he made this good point. He said if you see people like that, and people think like that, you need them to put them in the corner, leave them alone, and let them die off by themselves.
Oh shit.
That he literally, and I don't know if he said something along those lines. So I feel like I feel like that. Yeah, yeah. I feel like now that we have platinums, even though YouTube be bullshitting people, you still have YouTube. You have these SoundClouds and all that other stuff, and there's more than one ways to get money. You don't need big corporations no more. Big corporation is might be out of the job sooner or later, unless they buy out YouTube and shit. But
Damn.
yeah. So when you get the chance, you need to watch that You need to watch that radio show. That one was really good. So I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up since it's on the two of us. So and Kayla doesn't have to struggle with her final words. I'm gonna let Father say his final say. Go ahead, Father.
um. Uh. Well, my final words is find me a Bay 2019. I'm still looking. Fuck Valentine's Day because y'all bitch ass niggas had Valentine's and I didn't. I'm not talking about all of y'all, but you know who y'all motherfuckers are. It's bitter African time. I've been quiet way too long. Now it's time to be bitter. I don't give a fuck. And yeah, fuck y'all.
Okay, two things. I've always fucked with women on Valentine's Day because I feel like you have options and yet you're not choosing them and yet you're choosing to be single. So if you're lonely on Valentine's Day, it's your fault, women. So that's one thing. So if you're lonely on Valentine's Day, I laugh at you. Because men, we still gotta like do the hunting and ask to be like be your Valentine's and all that. We have to ask to be your Valentine's, and we have to like try to swoon you. And I'm pretty sure there's niggas in your DMs that try to, and you ignored them, and now you're here lonely and sad on Valentine's Day. So For those women, I'll laugh at you. Ha ha ha. Also, and I will keep saying this, and we need to stop as far as Tangibles 2020. We need to have our own black agenda. It's one thing to talk about the black agenda, but we need to have our own black agenda that we can deliberately give to these candidates that we want shit done. That's one thing. We need to stop doing this talking and start doing the walking. Also, support black businesses, uplift black women, and uh just be black first. And it's nothing wrong with being black first. You can still love
Stay
other
on
races.
code.
Stay on code, and most of all, and then I think that's another thing we need to discuss what is being on code, because I feel like a lot of people don't know, and we need
Yeah.
to start have that discussion. What is being on code? So with that said, I'm your boy Ray. This was Father, and thank you for Mark and Xavier for coming in for the little time they did. This is You Know What? Let me just say podcast, and I'm signing off.
Fuck Valentine.